May I have your attention? We're going to officially call this meeting to order at 6:04 by the clock on the wall. Anyone want to give us a word of prayer? Ms. Pat? Okay, thank you. Man. And I'm gonna be like my pastor. If God's not calling you, you need to silence that phone. If it's not a call from Jesus Christ, silence it, please. Next, we'll have roll call of the officers.
Mayor Taylor, Max Mayor, Ron Williams, present.
Present. Let the minutes reflect that a quorum of officers are present. We need a motion and a second from the floor to use the sign-in sheet as the official roll call for the members tonight.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Buddy, second by Martha Armstrong. We use the sign-in sheet as the official roll call for the members tonight. All in favor of the motion, please signify by the raising of your hand. Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carried. Next, we'll have the reading of the minutes from the last meeting. Ready to go? Hello. Meeting called to order at 6 p.m. by Mildred Burkhalter. Invocation given by Rosie Hughes. Roll call, all officers present. Motion to use sign-in sheet as a roll call was called by Vicky Dan, second by Barbara Lee. Motion carried. Reading of the minutes by Sue Henson. Motion to approve minutes as read by Buddy York, second by Rosie Hughes. Motion carried. National Council representatives, Daryl gave update on upcoming council bills and answered questions. The Creek Nation tribal representative speakers, none were present. Reports by the smoke shop were unavailable, and so were the community and CMD unavailable. Old business, community issues. Vicky gave an update on Elders Trip. Motion by Lily Hill to purchase t-shirts for Elders Trip. Second by Tanya Waldo. Motion carried. One abstain. New business, community issues. The Thunder Game sign up and Pawhuska Trip sign up last week in August. Announcements, CPR class sign up must be 18 years or older, and the youth pizza party Friday, July the 14th. The benediction was given by Pat Longcrier, and the adjournment, motion to adjourn by Buddy York and second by Tony Grayson. Motion carried. Time of adjournment was 6:59 p.m. You've heard the reading of the minutes coming from the last meeting. I need a motion and a second. Motion by Jeff, second by Pat Longcrier. Floor is now open for any discussion or question. If none, all in favor of the motion, please signify by the raising of your hand. Opposed? Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carried. Next, we're down to item 5 on the agenda. National Council representatives. Do we have any council representatives present? Don't see any. Okay, moving on to item 6, Creek Nation presentation speakers, and I noticed we're fortunate to have Chief Hill with us tonight, and any other representative from the nation. Chief Hill, at this moment, if you have something you want to say, we'll give you the floor for a few minutes.
Well, y'all notice anything different? No. There you go. Yeah. Last time I was 5'8", now I'm 5'9.5". Got both knees straightened up, so. They said I went from a horseshoe to a D, now I'm straight 11. It's good. I'll make mine quick. Okmulgee had wanted to know if I was going to come by, and I told him I was coming here first. But there was a couple of resolutions. I don't know if Representative Proctor had mentioned it, but it was on the school clothing. Did he report out that we increased that $100 more on each one? And it will start fiscal year 24. Last month, we also increased the burial assistance. Was 4,500, is 7,000. Food voucher was 500, now it's 700. And we also added the grave house. Most ones still do the traditional grave house on it. That way it'll help pay for the lumber, paint, whatever. That's 500. So all that will start probably October in fiscal year when the budget's passed. Been getting, I can't remember if I told y'all, we presented 10 projects to the council, and 8 of those has already been, or 2 of those, I'm sorry, 2 of those already been taken off. One was the Muskogee Doctors Hospital up here. We purchased that, and we're going to turn that into a drug and alcohol rehab center. We've got several, citizens that definitely needs that. We don't have anything else anywhere close. So once it became available, Mr. Sean Terry's over the health department, wanted to know what can we do, and I said, well, this is needed very bad, drug and alcohol. And so purchased that probably last week or last month and a half, finalized. And the other one was the DHS building just north of our complex. We purchased that one as well. And the reason why we needed, I think last time I was here, I told you we needed space. We are shorthanded and needed more space. Plus, I'm moving forward with the master plan that Chief Floyd had. With the growth of the nation, when I first came in office, I think we had a little bit over 1,000 employees, just at the complex, not including the gaming or health department. Now we're up to about 1,250, almost 1,300. And this space is one of them. So in order to build, start on the master plan, we have to shift people around. Because the right where the education building's going to have to be tore down, that's where the new court's going to be, new court system. And the human services building is going to be just right southwest of the Mound building, where the council's office are at. So we're moving forward with that. Did have a question back here about the elderly lawn service. We are backed up because I know we got a lot of calls from Okemah, different areas that, once we cut your grass this weekend, maybe another month, by the time we get to it, it's going to be high. So we had to combine 3 departments, just go straight down to Okemah and just try to take care of them as quick as we can. But one of the problems at Okemah had asked me was, how come we can't add more, hire more? I mean, we can buy more lawnmowers, equipment. It is hard to get, workers. A lot of these younger generations, it's hard to get them to work. Yeah, so, because at one time, I think communities used to hire And I think the AG had an opinion on there for liability,
Yes.
but I told Second Chief that we're gonna have a meeting with them this week, see if we can change it. I mean, it's a lot quicker. That's what the community center's for, to help the community. I know one of the several of the ceremonial grounds have the tractors and mowers, so they've been helping too, to help the community. So that's something we're gonna look at, see if,
Okay, excuse me for interrupting, Chief Hill, but what happened was when some of the past council members was in there, and we used to get funding that we could hire individuals in the area, whatever else that kept go out, and we had enough of lawnmowers, but they changed that when they limited us to the 60,000 on the CMD fund.
we talked about that. We may have to add more
Okay,
to that 60,000, so you can pay someone, contract it out or whatever.
okay.
So that is in discussion to do that, because it's everywhere. I haven't even had a chance to cut my lawn.
Yeah, I did
It's
today.
tough. I can't get my wife to get out there and mow it. She almost ran into the pond, so that's why I told her don't do it. But other than that, went to Wichita, Kansas last week. You know, we had Leanne Ann Edwards. She's the at-large representative. You know, we try to go at least 4 outreaches per year. Went to Dallas, Sacramento, Phoenix, and Kansas. It's great outreach. We ran into several people, ran into a family of 6 that didn't even know they can vote. I mean, they weren't aware of it. So, and some went to Dallas yesterday, and there were some individuals didn't know all the program. They get the paper, but that kind of, you know, they're not familiar. That's like my mom. I always give my example for my mom. If you give her a cell phone, she's just going to use that to answer. She's going to call. She don't text. She don't get on the internet. You know, she just wants it to call. So when we had these new programs, I told them, you know, you need to think about these elders. So that's why some of them came out to here to help. And so that's one of the things that I told Ann. Haven't talked to her today, but maybe need to be more in detail in the newspaper. Even though we put on the website, put on the Facebook, like I said, a lot of these elders don't really do that. They'll read the paper. That's how mom does. She'll read the paper. So I'm gonna get with Ann on that, as well as the other departments. You know, I think we rely too much on the social media. We forget about putting it in the paper. Yeah, that's about it. So I'm gonna get with the Muskogee media, see if they can go to each department. I have a cabinet meeting every Monday morning, so I'm gonna bring that to their attention. One of the other things was phone calls. So we, a lot of employees didn't know, but we put a phone call log on the call. So we get calls that, hey, housing, social services is not calling. I have Shane Hullaby, who is the tribal administrator, and I have him pull up the log. So it shows all the phone calls going to each line, and each line has a name to it. So I could see who's answering, who's not. So then I get with the director, say, hey, this employee's either not here or not answering. So tell them, you know, if they have to be written up, disciplinary action need to be taken, because you have to answer them on phone call. So it's one way we're trying to get that corrected. You know, that's always, when I was on the council, you know, when I first came, people not answering or calling. So I tell them every Monday, if I don't, Second Chief will. If he doesn't, Chief of Staff will, and if he don't, Shane will. So they always get hit up 4 times. Answer the calls, call them back, you know, trying to get that corrected. But other than that, is there any questions? She said no.
I had none on the Harvard program. You're gonna hire any more people for those two?
Opera,
On that Harvard.
the Arbor Care. We looked at, I got with Phil because we're backed up on that. They're trying to, we're way backed up, especially during the storm. Yeah. Ice storm, and that backs everything up. And that's like Jimmy from Chapel Driveways. You know, during the pandemic, he averaged 1 or 2, used to average 1, maybe 3 funerals a week. In 1 week, he had 15. So everything he had in Chapel Driveways was backing up. So I got with second chief and the chief of staff, probably during summer, probably end of last year, about creating our own funeral crew, but just trying to keep them busy. I mean, we had to get Tribal Construction to help out with the backhoe. I mean, it was just, when he had 15 in 1 week, you know, that's almost three per day. And it was kind of tough because each one, they had to sit out there until the burial is done. Sometimes they want them covered too. You know, traditional way, we did it by shovel. Some was able to do that, but during the ice storm, you know, everybody just had the backhoe just go ahead and cover it up. So that was a terrible year. And don't forget, this is probably the year of the baby boomers. So that's why everything increased. Every elderly service, you know, we always had just 2. So we increased that 1.5 years ago to 4 employees, and they're still back up. It's during this time of year, that's when I included myself, you know, we're at that age now where it's really increased.
I have a question. I'm wondering about when we're gonna finish this smoke shop down on Texas Road. I live down there and it's all the time, you know, trying to.
I was going to talk to Representative Proctor. He had mentioned about the smoke shop. Unless I asked Tribal Driveway, you know, they usually tell me if there's a problem with it or not, but he hasn't updated me on that. So I'll get with Representative Proctor. Is he aware of that?
Yeah, I'll address that. Follow up on the text and here.
Oh, okay. She's got the answer. Is there any other questions? You know, a lot of traditional churches, ceremonial ground, that have food for like funerals at the churches. It was 500, that's increased to 7. Now, it's not going to start till the budget's passed. It'll probably be October. That's also the funeral cost itself. You know, it's 4,500. But we visit the funeral homes and got Bristow and Parks in Okemah that try to abide by the original contract. I mean, they try to help the Creek citizen, but the cost of the materials and everything just went up. So I talked to Representative Randolph, which he wanted to help on that. So we increased that to 7,000. Is there anything else? October as well, yes. Whatever it was, I think it was 200, 250. It's increased by $100. Because you get these kids that's in high school, they'll buy their tennis shoes. It's about 300 by itself, you know. Cost of everything's went up. Is there anything else?
There's a question of why are they behind on the food vouchers? Is it like the people that were without electricity or certain.
That
12
natural
hours?
disaster?
Yeah, natural
Was that the
disaster.
natural disaster?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was another question that come up. I think Aaron told me they had like almost just in one day, natural disaster, over 300 applications just in one day. So during the regular duties in social services, she had to split that department, people just to work on a natural disaster. So while theirs is piling up, now that the 2 over here, theirs is starting piling up too. So a lot of both sides. So and I told Aaron, go ahead and put in the budget to go ahead and hire some more. I mean, we can always use them somewhere. And that's the same problem we're having in social services. We had about 2 or 3 of them transfer out, and it's due to wages. I know I got with second chief, we submitted, we changed a minimum wage to $15. It used to be, I think, $11.50 or $12 for a long time. So we increased that to $15 an hour, but it's still not enough. We had the HR compare the salaries throughout all the other 5 tribes and different ones. We're still behind. So That's why we're losing a lot of employees. I mean, we had that with the Light Horse. We had to change their salaries up 2 or 3 times because if we move it up, Cherokee, Choctaw, and Chickasaw would raise their up. So, you know, they would go somewhere else. But with the benefits, we had a lot of them come back within a month. You know, they went out to different areas and their benefit wasn't good as Creek Nation. Now, is everyone, Representative Proctor, is everyone aware of that Colonial Life additional insurance, life insurance? Are y'all aware of that? Additional is through Colonial Life Insurance. You can get extra life insurance through them. But, you know, we're kind of like, I don't want to say the middle person, but we're just kind of pass through and it goes through them. It's a very minimal amount that you have to pay for extra life insurance. And that's where we encourage everyone to get on. I think some of them you don't. If you call our benefits department, there's a number to have on the, well, it's on the website again, but there's a number you can call. It's strictly to the Colonial Life. It's real minimal too. So we encourage, I mean, don't want to say anyone's going to pass away or die, but you know, with the price of everything, we had a lot of families that if we didn't increase this to 7,000, that they were still stuck with a $1,000, $2,000 bill remaining. So we try to help out as much as we could.
Isn't it like term life, though? If you're wanting a $5,000 policy, sign up today, it may not, it will only be worth about 2,000, and then you have to increase, I mean, you have to be in it for so many years before it actually reaches the value of 5,000.
I couldn't remember how much it was. I didn't bring my paper with me. I don't know if you can get on the website, maybe have it maybe printed out, maybe so all the members can see it. If I remember next month, I'll bring what I can. I was gonna put on Representative Proctor, but he didn't show up. You can call our benefits office and they'll have a number for you to call. We even have a citizen in Hawaii that got on that. So it's out to everyone. It's additional life insurance that you can get. Sir?
What about mobility equipment for people that have a hard time getting around, scooters, parts? Is there any way to get those to the side?
I know Anna Sterner, who's over early nutrition program. She had that one department that does have some, but we also have our DME company through Creek Nation. Durable medical equipment. They'll have, like I said, the scooters, all the equipment, oxygen tanks, and all that kind of stuff.
Should it go through our doctors?
Probably have to get a release of something, stay before. Any other questions?
I think Representative Parker was talking about the program to redo roads. And I think in the pictures of our roads in our area, we have one bridge just about ready to wash out. And I was just wondering, you said it may take years.
Yeah, whenever the tribal driveways, because all that through grant funded, we have to sit down and prioritize. What we do is we look at what's needed around a complex and what's needed like churches, grounds, or wherever the roads are, or whatever the county needs help. So does Daryl have all your information? I can get with Daryl. Because we're trying to set aside kind of like emergency. Because once I pull from one, you know, I had to pull over here and drop one out. Yeah. Okay. I'll give you a representative copy. Anything else? So I'm getting ready to leave, go to Okmulgee.
Are there any plans to reopen Discovery Travel Plaza?
Per the gaming, I don't think they are. Because it's kind of a little flood area, flood zone. But there's, without disclosing too much, they have plans for doing something. Now we're at, one of the things we looked at was having more satellite offices. Well, no, I don't know if some of y'all know, but we bought property in Holdenville, put up a new IHS clinic there. And so we're moving some social service workers there and different departments to help. May have one representative from housing, kind of like the same thing we did with Temple. And we're looking at Muskogee to move one of our tag offices, because we got one in Coweta, Riverwalk, and Okemah. So try to make it more close, you know, to help service to citizens in that area. So we're looking at Muskogee. I actually was looking at a spot here, Shakota or Eufaula, to have kind of like a satellite office to house our light horse, another tag office, or social services. That way it's here local. Which when that does, that's more, you know, funding we have to pay employees, but that's something that we'll have to look at. Now, if you have friends or family in Oklahoma City, they're opening, I think this time twice a month. Now the tag office, I think they're going to try to do it twice every other week. I think they are, because they're just getting bombarded with tag. Because everyone knows that you can get tagged as long as you live within the Oklahoma, right? But she's almost what they projected for the revenue. They double it, almost triple. So they're doing good. That's why they want to move an office up here in Muskogee. So it's going good. But I did ask her, I said, you know what my next question is going to be? I said, can we go out of state on tags? So she's looking in there, don't know. It may be like the governor here, we're going to be fighting no matter what. Yeah. Fountainhead, you know, they had two feasibility studies to put like what they call Gasino, kind of like a little plaza with the casino, similar to one in Muskogee. But they were saying the feasibility study just wasn't quite there. But me and Second Chief, big sports fan, and we're thinking about, well, what about a softball field? You know, let's add more to it. I mean, you have to bring, even though it's a long drive out there, but you got to bring them in. So we're looking at different things to do, even an RV park or something. So we're looking at different things, you know, for the future. Anything else? Buddy? No? Well, I'm gonna head to Okmulgee and get chewed out by Virginia Thomas.
I'm over there.
I told her last time I'm coming here first, she said, you're late.
I have something nice to say to you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming. Next on the agenda is item number 7 in reports. And in the absence of Christie and okay, this is the smoke shop report for number 1. The total income for June for 2023 was $158,527.61. Total purchases was $147,207.77. Total cost of goods sold was $133,275.87. The profit was $25,251.74. The total expense for the month was $42,094.51. Left us with a minus $16,795.72. Profit and loss for July. For number one, excuse me, I'm sorry. Income for the month was $154,272.79. Total purchases was $133,071.43. Total cost of goods sold was $114,140.31. Gross profit was $40,132.48. Total expense for the month was $35,145.77, giving us a net profit or net income of $4,986.71. Smoke shop number two for June 2023. Total income was $169,637.12. Purchases was $151,997.81. Total cost of goods sold was $140,597.13. Gross profit was $29,039.99. Total expenses was $500, giving us a net income of $10,008 for June. July 2023 for smoke shop number two. Total income was $184,471.99. Purchases was $158,878.27. Total cost of goods sold was $143,136.39. Total expenses was $19,453.68, giving us a net profit of $19,881.92. Next, Sue will give you community and the CMD.
Okay, our income for June, I have to do June's report because we didn't have it last month. So our income for June was $706. Our expense for that month was $75. A net income of $564.80. And in our accounts, in Armstrong, we have $20,913.43. In our BOK, we have $162,787.09. In our Armstrong CIC special account, we have $7,566.46. In our First Family Credit Union, we have $206,767.52. In our First Family CIC Elders account, we have $9,508.91. In our Tulsa Teachers Credit Union, we have $200,739.25. In Tulsa Teachers Credit Union number two, we have $33,139.43. That was for June. Okay, June for our CMD funds, our total income was $20,000. Our net income was $15,480.18. In our account, we have $23,062.12. That was all for June. Now for July, our total income was $12.85 for the community. Our total expense for July was $2,000. $24.41, and net income of minus $802.54. In our Armstrong's account, we have $18,098.04. The BOK, we have $162,787.09. In our Armstrong CIC special account, we have $7,579.31. First Family Credit Union, we have $2,006,767.52. And our First Family CIC Elders account, we have $10,008.91. And our Tulsa Teachers Credit Union, we have $200,739.25. And our Tulsa Teachers Credit Union too, we have $34,639.43. And in our July CMD funds, our expenses was $1,397.24. And left us with a net income of a minus $3,956.43. In our checking savings, we have $19,105.69.
You've heard the report coming from Smoke Shop number 1 for the month of June and July. You had the report coming from the Smoke Shop number 2 for June and July. You had the community operation and the CMD for June and July. I need a motion and a second to approve reports. Motion by Martha and second by Jeff Francis to approve reports. The floor is now open for any discussion or question. If none, are you ready to vote? All in favor of the motion, please signify by the raising of your hand. Any opposed? Any abstain? Excuse me, motion carried. Next on the agenda is item number 8, old business, community issues. Anything old business under community issues? Anything from the floor? I'll address the smoke shop number 2, Joyce, right now. We have forwarded all the information to the community development office. We just recently sent all the financial information from last year or whatever else. So they are in the process of preparing that to get it to the council. So hopefully we'll be on the agenda by next month. Yes. If nothing else, moving on to item 9, new business, CMD application fiscal year 2024. We always have to submit the application, and this is for the $60,000 that we get every year from Creek Nation, and that was the grant that the chief just spoke of, that they might raise that up where we would be able to incorporate a elders mowing program again to help out in this area, but that's on the burner right now. But we are applying for the $60,000 for the CMD application for the fiscal year 2024. I need a motion and a second to approve. Motion by Vicky, second by Pat, to approve the CMD application for the year 2024. Floor is now open for any discussion or question. If none, all in favor of the motion, please signify by the raising of your hand. Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carried. Next, item 2, CMD resolution for the year 2024. We always have to approve a resolution. We have to have a count
So if you're voting for it, please leave your hand up. If you're saying no, please hold your hand up when you're called. Any abstain, please raise your hand. So I need a motion and a second to approve the CMD resolution for year 2024. Motion by Vicky, second by, help me. Yeah, Embria Kelly. The floor is now open for any, is open for any discussion. Any question? If not, all those in favor, please raise your hand and please keep them up. We have to get a count. Everyone needs to vote, that's eligible to vote. Please keep your hand up.
Nineteen over here. That included Josh. Thank you, Josh.
Okay, any abstain? Any no votes? Okay, motion carried. 36 yes. Okay, next item 3 is the resolution, community funds, Watson property. Do you remember a few months back, we came to you with, when we were talking about the smoke shop number 2, Texana property, and we mentioned about renovating the Watson property and turning it into a flea market where the community members could actually have a booth in there, and we would only open up certain times of the week or whatever else. It would be income for you and also income for the community, because you would pay rent to the community for renting one of those booths. Two or three people can combine in one booth if that's what you so choose to do. But I think there'll be 10 or 12, was it 10 or 12? Do y'all remember? It'll be at least 10. And they're nice sized booth. If we don't do something with that building, it's gonna go down just like the White Stag property. It is a building that we can utilize, and even if we don't turn it into a flea market, or if we don't use it for that, it can be used for something else. The air condition, the floor, a new bathroom, and all the ceiling work, a new door, and all of that will be put on the building. We need, just a minute. It's next to the casino. It's that blue building that sits back. Yeah, to that private. Yeah, north end of town. But the reason for the resolution is the last time when Proctor was here, our council rep, and we were talking up here, and the chief left, and I didn't want to put this on his plate. But you remember me coming to you stating that we were going to probably go to the nation and ask for appropriation to do the Texana property with. We also was going to go for appropriation to do the Watson property with. But come to find out, we probably will have to do a loan. We will have to do a loan for the Texana property and a loan for the Watson property. And I'm speaking only of the Watson property now. The tribal construction said it would cost about $30,000 to renovate that building over to where it would bring it up to code and everything for $30,000. If we are not able to get the $30,000 from Muskogee Creek Nation in form of a loan, because they did have a bill here last month or a month before that they're canceling all appropriations. They're not going to give any, I mean, right now it's a hold on all appropriations. So that means that if ours come up within the next month or so, appropriation is not going to be there. So it will have to be in form of a loan. We paid the previous loan down to $15,000, and we pay a little extra every month. It'll probably be somewhere in the same neighborhood as that. But the reason I'm asking on the Watson property community funds, would you consider us spending $30,000 out of our community funds to go ahead and renovate the Watson property? That's the purpose of the resolution. If you think that's a possibility, then I need a motion and a second on the floor, and we'll come back and discuss it. Motion by Fish and second by the other Fish. Okay? Okay. So the floor is now open for any discussion. Okay, Pam. Will there be what now? No. Yeah, tribal is actually going to be a little bit less money to do the renovation than to go out and get other contractors to bid on it. So this was just kind of their, in other words, their baby that they'll help us get it up to par for a little bit cheaper price. But if you want to go out and get bids for that, then we can. But I'm sure that the price will go up a little bit higher than $30,000. We hadn't discussed that yet, but I would say it would probably be for the community to benefit off of it. I'm looking at $75 to $90 a month. And somebody probably said, ooh, that's too much, but go to Muskogee and it's not. You know, I used to have a resale booth and it would cost me about $90 a month, but I made money when I would work it. Yeah. So, yes, it is, exactly. So any other questions, any discussion? Okay. Well, I had not actually, Pat, discussed what account that would come out of yet. I just wanted this on the agenda in case we could go ahead and move forward with it. But my opinion on that would be to probably take it out of the BOK at Eufaula because, and I'm always picking on the BOK because they are the one that gives us less interest earned every month. If we get to the point that any of the accounts go over to 250, and I think we are over 250 at Armstrong again, probably about 25,000, we'll probably pull that excess out and put it back into the BOK to kind of cover the overflow. That will actually serve as our overflow bank. So, any other questions? If none, are you ready to vote? Okay, all in favor of the motion, please signify by the raising of your hand. And please keep them up because we'll have to get a count. That's okay.
20 this time.
I know, I think somebody's not holding it.
Okay. 20 over here. Got the same amount.
Okay, well, at least everybody's voting. We came up with 36 this time too, so I guess there's no one holding out. Okay, any abstain? Any no votes? Motion carried. Next item number 4, resolution CICC to become indebted to Muskogee Creek Nation Texana Smoke Shop number 2. And I just mentioned just a few minutes ago about the fact that Proctor, Mr. Proctor was up here talking to the board last month about that, but I don't see any way that they're going to give us an appropriation. If you remember me bringing that, and I think the plans used to lay around here for a while, I think we finally put them up. The last quote, they told us to build a size building and put everything in it that we wanted was going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $900,000. When we first talked about it, it was at $625,000, but over the year or two that we've kind of laid off, the cost of material and whatever else has extremely went up. And that's where majority of the cost is. So it will be in the neighborhood of $900,000. And you probably said, oh, you know, but, you know, we paid a $80-something thousand down to $15,000 in about a couple of years or 2 years, 3 years or whatever else. And I believe that we can do it because once the work, the smoke shop is there, we're gonna offer a large variety of other items or whatever else. And I think eventually it will pay for itself within a very short length of time. Our cost of goods, well, in other words, our sales will probably go up quite a bit. So we need a motion and a second, and then we'll come back and discuss it. Motion by Jeff. Second, whose arm is that back? Oh, okay, Tanya. Okay, Tanya Waldo seconded. The floor is now open for discussion. Say, speak now, forever hold your peace. In other words, and we're not gonna do this right now, whenever they get us the paperwork and we get ready to go to the council, Muskogee Creek Nation Council with this, we've already got our resolution in place. We've already got our community approval to move forward with this. And you're saying that, we're okay with becoming indebted to the nation. And in reality, we're just paying self. It belongs to them anyway. So, we're just utilizing the income off of it. But today, if they would decide to shut it down, they have the authority to do it. Even though we claim it as ours, but in reality, it's theirs. It's the nation. It's yours up under the nation and also the community. So, any other discussion or question? Okay, all in favor of the resolution, please raise your hand. Please keep it up. Got to get a count again. Hopefully we'll come up with the same number again. Tony again. Oh, really? Okay, doing good, Donna. Oh, hey. Hey. All right, motion carried. Phew. Next is item 5, elders trip expense. Sue Hoghart's not here, is she? Okay, I think next month, Buddy, if you remember from the first time, probably in September is when they'll send that final bill. Probably the end of September, most likely. Who's here that's on that committee? Vicky, are you on it? Okay, but you probably don't know. I was just asking Buddy. Probably about September, end of September, probably when they'll send that final bill. And we had, I think Scott put something out on the web about anyone that would consider doubling up in the rooms so we could cut down on the cost. Because we have, I don't have that paper in here, but I think we had like 13 or 18 single rooms. And those rooms are running about around $2,500. What? Yeah, 19 singles. And those rooms are running about $2,600 a piece. So if we can double up and cut down on that single, I think we have a couple of them. And then we have Lily and Annette. Y'all agree to bunk up? Okay. Okay. Anybody else that's on the single team want to bunk up with anyone that's on that list? If you do, please let me know and I'll change it on the list or whatever else. Because right now with these 3 individuals or 6 individuals deciding to bunk up, then we're saving about $8,000 on the cost. Well, it's actually $7,197 savings on those rooms. Right now, the trip is actually costing us $89,696. We paid the $4,400 deposit, leaving us a balance of $84,296 that we will owe. But if you take the 7,000 off of that, we're down to about 77,000.
If I'm on the same ones, I can remember while I was doing that off.
I don't know on that. Yeah, we don't have the list in here. I'll look. Okay, bunk up with, okay, who you gonna bunk up with, Sonny? Who you gonna bunk up with? Okay, all right. Yeah, I know. Okay, all right. We'll get off that subject here. Okay, we presently have 32 members, community members on that list. The board had decided to give each member $500 for the trip. So that's gonna cost $16,000 in stipends. If you add the $16,000 to the cost of the trip, the total cost is gonna be $104,696, and that's just a total. That's not any adjustment in that right now. The BOK has $162,787 in there. If we round it up to 105,000 off the trip, that will leave about $58,000 in the BOK account. But we will not take the full 105,000 from the BOK. We're only gonna take 91,000 out of the bank for the trip. And that's gonna leave $6,000 left. I done got my notes here all mixed up, but we have over $10,000 in the elders account right now at First Family. We're gonna use part of that as the stipend. So if we do it that way, we'll only have 71,000 left in the BOK account. So if I've totally confused you, ask me again. I think I've confused myself. But the total cost of the trip is 104,000, but we want to take $91,000 out of the BOK and $10,000 out of the elders account to put the trip.
So to repeat that, because I'm still saying that, so.
Okay. Okay, the total cost of the trip is $89,696. If you add the 16,000 to that, you're gonna come up with around $104,696.
That's all from that, okay.
Yes. But it won't be that full amount, because if you agree to take the 10,000 out of the elders account, that'll be 94,000 coming out of the BOK.
The reason why we're taking 10 out of that.
Well, because that's what it was set aside for elders trip.
Remember, I think we'd be fine, with- I know what people see and everything, but we don't really care how you pay for it.
Just want to go, huh? Okay, well,
You can do it any way you want to.
okay. All right, well, I mean, I need your permission to do that. I didn't take off that deposit because that's long gone. We've already done that. So we're only looking at about $101,000 right now total. That's with the stipend and the cost, the rooms and everything.
Well, I'll make a motion that we approve up to $4,000 for the trip.
Okay,
That should cover everything.
okay, it's been motion and second. Now, any more discussion? Jeff? Okay. Huh? Any discussion? If none, all in favor of the motion, please signify by the raising of your hand. Any opposed? Any abstain? Any no votes? Okay, moving on. Phew, spending a lot of money here, but
What's the last day for anybody to take them up to this?
that's what I'm saying is I believe that the final invoice would probably come out, I would say probably mid-September. Because I would say mid-September.
And you have a good waiting list, right?
Um,
Anybody else that wants to-
There's only probably about 5 left on that waiting list. Yeah. Okay, item number 6, Pahuska trip expense. That trip will be September 7th. We will leave here at 8:30 in the morning and probably arrive back at about 5 o'clock. The total cost for the trip is $3,700. And we're going to take that out of the CMD fund. Because it's an activity. Need a motion in a second. The bus is, I know we had on that list, 45 people was the limit. But I bumped that up to 50 because that bus is a 55 passenger bus. We paid the same price if we was hauling 10 people on it. So why not allow 5 more people to go? It's not gonna, we're only gonna probably, it'll cost us about $284 more on the cost of the meals. So it'll be 50 people going. There's 60 people left on the waiting list in case some of you don't want to go. 50 people in the meal that I chose. And I guess some of the ones that went on the Colorado trip probably remember the menu. That's the same menu we want to eat again. It include, I chose option, or the board looked at it, we chose option number 3. It includes the olive cheese bread and Parmesan garlic fries, the wedge salad that has pickled red onions and bacon and tomato on it, chicken fried steak with country gravy, chicken Milanese, and that's those little strips of chicken, mashed potatoes, blistered green beans, roasted carrots, mac and cheese, biscuit, homemade jam, chocolate sheet cake, and vanilla ice cream, iced tea, sweet tea, and lemonade. Those will cost $45 a plate. And 50 people at $45 a plate is gonna cost $2,250. We always give the bus driver tip about $300 plus anything else you want to contribute to him. Or yeah, because it's Dan. Tips to the Pioneer Woman waitress, I just put $200 plus anything else you want to leave on the table for them. The bus transportation was $948. Making the total of $3,698, but I'm asking for approval for $3,700. Come out of CMD fund.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Buddy and second by Pat to approve $3,700 and to come out of CMD fund. Any discussion? If none, moving on, all in favor of the motion, please signify by the raising of your hand. Any opposed? Any abstain? Not everybody voted that time. Your arm getting tired? Okay, motion carried. Next on item is item number 7, political speaking. We will have the political speaking on August 28th, starting from 6 to 8 p.m., where we will have all the candidates that are on this list. I called every one of these people directly, left messages with some responded back, some didn't, or whatever else. But there's about 20, maybe not that many. But anyway, they'll be here on the 28th. It'll start from 6 to 8 p.m. and we have a P&S barbecue serving dinner or sandwiches and something that night. And the total cost is $1,328 because I moved it up to 70 people. So I need approval for about $1,500.
I'll I'll make that motion.
Okay, motion. And second by Charlotte to approve $1,500 towards the political speaking for food that night. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, please signify by the raising of your hand. Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carried. Next item, number 8, employee dinner. We brought this up before. You know, we always believe in rewarding the employee because they are the one actually working for the community. Last time we took them to a place in Tulsa. This include about 18. Excuse me, yeah, about 18 people. And we're asking for $5,500 to take these individuals. And we always give them a little token of appreciation. And this will be at Captain's John's on September the 17th in Eufaula. We're asking $5,500 and this will come out of Smoke Shop number 2. And right now, Smoke Shop, oh. Okay. Well, let's see, where am I? I know I wrote here 5,500. Oh, that is, isn't it? I'm sorry. I tell you, I got too many notes on here. Was it just 3,000? Okay, okay, a total of 3,000, I'm sorry. And this will come out of Smoke Shop number 2 account. That's for the employees' dinner. Need a motion and a second to do or not do. Motion by Jeff, second by Storm. Okay, any discussion? If none, all in favor of the motion, please signify by the raising of your hand. Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carried. Next, item number 9, Oklahoma City Thunder game expense. That game is tentatively set up for October 19th. Muskogee Creek Nation does not have a bus available that day, so we will probably have to use village travel again. I think the cost to Oklahoma City last year was about $2,000 for the bus, around $2,300 for the bus. And then we ate or whatever else. So we're looking at probably about $4,000. And that will fall after we receive the first CMD funds in the next fiscal year. So that can be taken out of that fund and it'll probably come from the CMD funds for that trip. And there's also, I think I bumped 5 people up on that list as well. I'll have to look at that list. But it'll be about 50 people. It's October 19th, starting at 7 o'clock in Tulsa at the BOK, unless you want to go to Oklahoma City on another date. No? Okay, then I need, it'll be a total cost of about $5,500 if we use the village travel, and that includes eats for everyone. You can eat up to about $2 worth of food. No. Your bread and water. So I need a motion and a second to approve $5,500 for the trip on October 19th to the BOK. Motion by Vicky. I hear second by Jeff. Oh, Homer, I'm sorry, Jeff had his hand up. Okay, it's been motion and second. Any discussion? If none, all in favor of the motion, please signify by the raising of your hand. Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carried. We're down to community issues and anything up under community issues. one thing we have is is that the McIntosh County Health Department? Okay, the McIntosh County Health Department have been coming every Tuesday, providing an exercise class here at the community center around 1:30. We've had quite a few participants in that, but they're gonna offer a CPR training. We already have 12 signed up. That's the limit for receiving a certification. But if you're interested in a non-certification, just to come and know how to resuscitate someone or whatever else, we will offer that as well. So anyone interested in that? Because if you're non-certified, please don't get on no one. It's just, you probably can work on someone at home or whatever else, but don't go out in public and grab hold to someone if they're choking and or they're not breathing or whatever else, because there's a, we haven't set a date yet. But if you're interested in just taking the class, we'll set up a different class for those that just interested in taking it. But if you're not and you want to be certified, we probably have to get another class set up. Anyone interested in a non-certified? Oh, you are, Tanya? Okay.
She's on the list. and we're getting- she's
Okay, you're on the list, Tanya, for the certified.
No.
No.
She would be on whatever list she wants.
Is she on the certified?
She's on the 12.
On the 12, okay, you're on the 12. Okay. But no one interested in being non-certified?
So now Buddy and I are going to be non-certified, so we've got 2 on non-certified.
Okay,
And Tony, that's 3.
okay, but then we can get some more set up if you're interested. See Donna. Yes. But it's a good thing to have, but then sometimes it can be against you. I hope I don't ever have to use it. That they've changed the methods a lot of whatever else, but it requires a lot of compression. You can't stop. Once you start doing the compression, you used to be able to stop, check for breathing, if they're breathing and whatever else, and pulse and all of this. You don't have time for that anymore. The compressions is the vital part of it. Embry? You can, what was we talking about, the law? Yeah, the Good Samaritan law states that you could possibly help someone, but that doesn't protect you from the fact that that person doesn't sue you. I mean, a lot of times broken ribs, other injuries can occur while you're doing those compressions. So it's just a matter if that person will wake up and they will be grateful that you saved them, or ungrateful because you broke the rib. So it's just a chance that you take in doing that, because you know, some people, I mean, people are, I would say, kind of money hungry in this day and time, so you can be easily sued for that if you cause injury. Any other questions? Also have a few announcements, but we have one person in the audience that's running for on the ballot this time for Lahoma. Would you stand up and introduce yourself and tell us basically what your plan is? Huh? No, I can't allow you to do the platform, but I can just allow you to introduce yourself. Yes. Okay, all right. Yeah, Lahoma Shoots, and she's running for principal chief position. Okay. All right, we appreciate you being here and good luck. Anyone else? Okay. I'll be quick here. All right, elders on the chair volleyball, September 1st at the Muskogee Creek Nation Dome. Okay, Charlotte. Okay,
If we establish at one point, it's just like this community, doing, it's the assistance, like if you have to do, like, lecture or something, it's covered.
Yeah, we have, and I was gonna go over that when I went over the CMD application. But we do have a little bit of assistance that we can assist individual with. You just have to come and fill out an application. And it has to go through the officers meeting or whatever else, and we'll, yes, yes. But that was included on that, on the, can't find it here, on that budget. I don't know where it went, but anyway. But as I said, the elders chair volleyball on September the 1st. We will have the walk-in program post measurement dates. If any of you reported on the when they were here for the walking program, if you came and signed up or whatever else, they'll be back here to see if you lost any inches or you gained some pounds or whatever else, and they'll be here on Tuesday, August 22nd from 4 to 6 p.m. So if you signed up on that program previous, be here on that date to see if you did any improvement or you didn't. As I mentioned, the chartered community candidate forum will be here at this community center on August 28th from 6 to 8 p.m. The Muskogee Agricultural Business Training Series is a free training. Will be here at Chakotah Indian Community on September 6th through the 7th. If you're interested in starting a garden, I guess, or whatever. The second annual gathering of chartered communities will be on September 9th from 10 to 2 p.m. Games, food vendors, prizes at the Claude Cox Omniplex in Okmulgee. I think that's it.
What was the time on the 8th?
Agricultural, I didn't give a time, or it starts at 9 a.m. Sorry, Martha. And they'll be here at the community center on September 6th and the 7th. Yes.
See, you want to, do I need to give y'all the amounts and the t-shirts, really? I must have everybody sign.
Okay. If you're interested in the t-shirts for the elders trip, get with Martha. But remember, you have to pay for that t-shirt yourself. I think it's what, $8? It's not.
Well, I didn't think we had even said what it's gonna be.
Well, somebody said something about in you follow something, $8. Well, it's on
They're
sale.
not $8.
Yeah, I think it was on sale, said they got t-shirts
They're
for
not
something.
$8.
Okay, well, if you're interested in the t-shirt, get with Martha and we'll go from there. Any other announcements?
Madam Chair,
Yes,
I just wanted to remind everybody concerning the elders trip, if they find out quick that they are not going, to let someone know, because like you said, we do still have a waiting list.
okay. All right. We're not having a drawing tonight, but we couldn't feed you and give you gifts at the same time. We're being cheap. No, after all this money we spent tonight. But anyway, we are blessed with barbecue sandwich from P&S back at the front here. There's drinks in that cooler on the floor. You can take a pop of water, but don't go back there and grab a sandwich and say you need one for your dog. Okay, I only got enough for a set amount of people. Yeah, I know it. Yeah, you'll be the dog. But anyway, there's pop and water in that cooler back there next to the door. So just grab your water or pop out of there, whatever else. And I think it's sandwich and chips and whatever else. So that'll be what we'll have on the 28th as well. So if someone want to give us a benediction and a motion and a second to get out of here, we're gone. Sister Rosie, you want to give us a benediction? You want to pray us out of here? Yeah, okay, all right.
For all the business that's conducted in this Lord. And we thank you, Lord God, to bring us all back together here at the appointed time, and you kept us and you allowed us to be here. Heavenly Father, as we depart this place, we never feel better. Just bless us to go back home and find everything always well as we left it in the name of Jesus. People, you know, bless them. Keep us in your hand, Lord God, and bring us back.
Yeah. Need a motion and a second to adjourn. Motion by Embry, second by Jeff to adjourn. All in favor of the motion, please signify by the raising of your hand. Any abstain, any no votes? All right, have a great evening. Enjoy your sandwich.